Hello, this is Tom Knox, the founder and CEO of CareFamily, and I want to welcome you to part 2 in our series of Planning Ahead for Elder Care. Let's talk about how you can build a support system ahead of actually getting paid care or moving someone to a facility. What you can do ahead of time. And let's talk about building that support system and how to do it. First of all, especially if you're the primary family caregiver, the spouse or the adult child who's in the home, you want to have kind of a team of people that you can hopefully rely on. And the first word of advice I'd give you in building this team is have people who fall into a couple buckets. The first one is kind of that person who can give you a specific time. Sally, I can come over every Wednesday at noon and I can stay till about 3 o'clock. That way you know that there's an island of time that's covered, that's dependable and reliable. Someone who volunteers for that, probably can't do a whole bunch of time, but they give a little segment of time that as a primary caregiver, I can get out, I can go do shopping, I can go to Starbucks, I can get a rest, I can do the business I need to do outside of the home. The second area would be as needed. To your daughter or to, someone else that you know well. Listen, if I just need you occasionally, if something comes up with my mom or she has to go to the doctor and I can't get there, do you mind if you're on a list with a couple other people that I can call, and if you have a moment, you can take a couple hours to take mom to the doctor? That's kind of your as needed group. The next is your drop-in group. And, a lot of people, if you tell them, you'd be surprised, would say, you know what, I'd be glad to drop in on your mom once in a while. I'm over there on a Saturday or, during the week I'm coming home from work and I'm passing through. I'd be glad to come in for a minute and just see how she's doing and have a cup of coffee with her. But if you kind of know you have the drop-ins, you have the as needed, and you have that kind of island of time, you'd be surprised at how much it'll help actually the senior themselves, because they're getting a little bit of socialization, and how much it'll help you because it's giving you a little bit of break and you don't feel like you're all alone in this thing. Well, let's talk about the type of people that would be good for you to look at in putting together your support system. And the first one is obviously family members. Now, in some cases, family members don't live nearby, but in others, you have a couple generations of folks that may be living within a 10 to 20 mile radius. And I think you want to start there. And that is a great time and place to have a little family meeting and talk about grandma or grandpa and their needs and say, look, I kind of have these 3 categories that I'm looking at. People can come over once a week, or people who can drop in, or just be on a list. And if I could call your cell phone and have you come over and take mom to the doctor. But family members are certainly a great place to start. The next area would be neighbors. We find in a lot of areas that seniors lived in a place a long time and they've developed friendships and they're kind of looked out for a little bit by the neighbors. And those neighbors as well may surprise you in what they're willing to do as far as stopping over or helping out a little bit. So I would ask the neighbors themselves if any of them would be comfortable occasionally just kind of being a part of this network of folks. The third is the church or a place of worship. A lot of times churches and other places have ministries, or there's a group of people who are really willing to give some time, retired individuals and things like that to, again, be part of this group that can stop in or be available if needed. Or again, even say, I'd be willing to volunteer 2 hours a week and I'll just come over every Tuesday. So that would be the next stage. And I wouldn't hesitate, even if it's early on, to look at getting a caregiver, even a couple hours twice a week. It may cost a little bit, but the cost is really not that much to give some anchors of time to get the family used to having care in the home, to getting the caregiver acclimated to the senior. And for what you could do at a service like CareFamily.com, where you could choose the caregiver yourself, and it's very, very affordable, you can make them part of that network as well and have a very affordable, very robust group of people who are willing to help you out.